From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Prime Minister Mark Carney will be in Paris today for a meeting with other allies of Ukraine in an effort to end Russia's punishing war on its neighbor. The meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, made up of nations including Canada, France, and other European countries, seeks to accelerate a negotiated peace plan for Ukraine nearly 4 years after Russia's full-scale invasion. Meantime, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has announced this morning that he has appointed former Canadian Deputy Prime Minister, Finance and Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland as an advisor on economic development. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife make their first appearance in an American courtroom today in New York. The Trump administration used the criminal charges to justify capturing Maduro in a U.S. military operation over the weekend. Here's reporter Lionel Moise.
U.S. prosecutors claim Maduro was at the forefront of narco-terrorism conspiracy to transport thousands of tons of cocaine into the U.S., sold Venezuelan diplomatic passports to individuals he knew were drug traffickers seeking to move drug proceeds using private planes under diplomatic cover, and that he and his wife maintained state-sponsored gangs and ordered kidnappings, beatings, and murders against those who owed them drug money or undermined their operation.
Protesters in our nation's capital have called for Ottawa to support Venezuela's right to self-determination and for the U.S. to back away.
Dozens of protesters gathered in front of the U.S. Embassy, just steps from Parliament Hill. They denounced U.S. President Donald Trump's actions in Venezuela. One protester describes this as the latest chapter in a story of the U.S. treating Latin America like its own backyard to develop resources. Jason White, the Canadian Press.
A day after that audacious U.S. military operation to remove and arrest Venezuela's president, U.S. President Donald Trump again said last night the U.S. will be running that country. He's also again pushing for American control of Greenland, saying the Arctic territory is critical to U.S. national security. Aboard Air Force One last night, Trump renewed his calls for an American takeover of the Danish territory.
It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it.
Denmark's prime minister is pushing back, saying Greenland is not for sale, and she warned the U.S. against threatening an ally. Boil water advisories for neighborhoods near last week's major water main break in Calgary have been lifted as crews repair the broken pipe. But Calgarians are urged to continue to conserve water. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Canada will play for bronze at the World Junior Hockey Championship following a crushing 6-4 loss to Czechia in the semifinals in Minnesota. Canadian forward Gavin McKenna is among the returnees who also lost to the Czechs last year in the quarterfinals in Ottawa.
Yeah, it's the same feeling, obviously. You know, you come all this way, you don't get many opportunities to throw on the flag, and, letting your country down sucks.
Canada gets Finland in the bronze medal game this afternoon, and then Sweden and the Czechs will play for gold. NFL action. The Pittsburgh-Baltimore game featured an electric fourth quarter that saw 4 lead changes. The last one saw Aaron Rodgers throw a go-ahead touchdown pass with 55 seconds left. The Steelers' kicker missed the extra point, and then Baltimore's Tyler Loop missed a 44-yard field goal that handed the Steelers a 26-24 win over the Ravens and the AFC North title. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.